Sunday Night Football, Packers, Saints in the Superdome. And again, shockingly, without their number one wide receiver in Devontae Adams, despite the Saints trying to look back, or I should say bounce back, after their Monday night loss to the Raiders, Green Bay goes into the Dome, goes into New Orleans, pulls out a 37-30 win over the Saints. And now they are 3-0. How about the Packers? Talk about one of the most surprised teams. 3-0 after they go 13-3 last year, after a year where I thought for sure they would regress. Without a doubt. If I had to put a bet on it, if you said, hey, will the Packers be anywhere close to their 13-3 record from 2019, I'd say hell no. I didn't think they're going to make the playoffs. I did not pick them to make the playoffs. I thought they were going to regress, and their regression was going to be ugly. Because as we know, and as we've seen, they had a 13-3 season, go to the NFC title game, and then they absolutely did nothing to make their team better, to try to take that momentum they had in 2019, put it towards 2020 in order to try to make a Super Bowl run. Instead, they almost went into a hybrid rebuild, right? They traded up in the first round, as we know, to draft Jordan Love. They drafted A.J. Dillon, a running back out of Boston College, in the second round. And despite the fact that they desperately needed a compliment, a little 1A, if you will, to Devontae Adams, or maybe not even a 1A, just a 2 to Devontae Adams, they neglected the wide receiver market in free agency, extremely deep, the deepest. You had NFL analysts and draft analysts saying this is the deepest wide receiver draft they've seen in a very long time. And the Packers took absolutely no one. 0 wide receivers drafted, despite the fact that it was the deepest wide receiver draft in years. The Packers didn't do it. They didn't make the team, in my opinion, any better than in 2019. So I thought for sure aggression was coming. But now 3 games in, now after going on the road in week 1, what was at the time at least an impressive win over Minnesota, where I thought they were going to win the division. You beat the Lions, what good teams do. And now you go on the road. You beat one of the best teams in the NFC in the Saints. I was going to start the show and kind of with the discussion of, are the Packers Super Bowl contenders? But, you know, the more I think about it, that's a dumb question. They are. They 100% are. 3-0. The offense is clicking. But I want to kind of switch the discussion here. And if you don't think the Packers are Super Bowl contenders, I'd love to hear why. Facebook, Worldwide Sports Radio Network, Twitter, WWSRN_radio, or Twitter at Ryan Hickey Show. Tweet me or write on Facebook. I would just reach out. I'd love to know, in your mind, if the Packers are not Super Bowl contenders so far, I would love to hear your reasoning why. Facebook or Twitter, reach out, tweet me right on Facebook. We'll read those throughout the show. But for me, at least, they are 100% Super Bowl contenders. So I want to kind of turn the conversation to what's led to this turnaround. What has happened? Because offensively, this is mostly the same team from last year. And offensively last year, this team was not elite. This team was not exciting. They weren't even really good. They were average. They had a few games here and there where they exploded on offense, where they looked like they were clicking, like it looked like Matt LaFleur's offense wanted to be run and Aaron Rodgers was buying in. But more times than not, that offense was sluggish. It was stagnant. It was kind of boring, to be honest. And they kind of skated by, beat some bad teams, won some low-scoring games. And in the end, as we saw, got their doors blown off by the 49ers. But now here we are, sitting in 2020, 1 year later, again with the same pieces, essentially, on offense as last year. They have scored 122 points for the first 3 games, which is the 5th most points scored through 3 games in the Super Bowl era. So they have scored the top 5 most points through 3 games of the Super Bowl era, which is, we were on Super Bowl 54, so 54 years. Highest scoring team in the league so far. More than the Seahawks, which we'll get to in Russell Wilson in a second here. More than the Chiefs, more than the Ravens. What has led to this turnaround? The answer is simple. It's not Aaron Rodgers. Well, the answer is Aaron Rodgers, but it's that he's buying in. He's all in. For whatever reason, his attitude changed from 2019 to 2020. I'm not sure whether it was Jordan Love getting drafted, whether it's just him getting more comfortable with Matt LaFleur now in year 2, maybe even, honestly, respecting Matt LaFleur. Because I think everyone, when he was hired last year in Green Bay, assumed he was going to go there and cater to Aaron Rodgers. The offense was going to be Aaron Rodgers' offense, that Matt LaFleur was just going to be in charge of, to oversee, per se. Remember when Mike McCarthy and the Packers split up, when he was fired? He was frustrated, Mike McCarthy was, that Aaron Rodgers kept calling the plays, changing the plays that he was calling. Aaron Rodgers was frustrated with the way the offense was being run. There was a power struggle, and guess who won that power struggle? The quarterback. The quarterback, the all-time quarterback, the Hall of Famer, the Super Bowl winner, won, as he should, won that battle. So I, like many, assumed as soon as Matt LaFleur was going to Green Bay, you know what? It's going to be Aaron Rodgers' offense. He's going to be the one calling plays at the line. He's going to be the one dictating, we're going to throw it here, we're going to run it here. I like these plays, we'll run these. And Matt LaFleur is basically going to sign off, be one of those supervisors, just, head coach and title. But for the most part, it was going to be Aaron Rodgers' offense. But now, as we see in 2020, 1 year later, he's buying in. It's Matt LaFleur's offense that Aaron Rodgers is catering to, not vice versa. Because last year, it was Aaron Rodgers' offense. Maybe it was Matt LaFleur's, but he was trying to push back. But it almost felt like there was almost a power struggle going on last year. Who was calling the plays? Who was in charge? And Aaron Rodgers, a lot of the time, looked disinterested. Didn't look like he's having fun. Didn't look like he was buying into the offense. Didn't look like he even trusted the offense. And now, 1 year later, where it's the bootleg style where he's rolling out, throwing bombs, where it's the quick throws in space, getting to his tight ends, getting it to his wide receivers and running backs and letting them run in space. Aaron Rodgers is buying into Matt LaFleur's offense, not vice versa. It is Matt LaFleur's offense that Aaron Rodgers is running, not the other way around. And that has led to the reason why so far the Packers are 3-0 and why their offense is red hot. Aaron Rodgers is looking like his MVP self because he finally feels comfortable. It feels like trusts what his head coach is telling him. So many times Aaron Rodgers, we saw in his career, basically run an offense that was almost like a schoolyard offense, right? If you're at recess, you play football at recess in the street, or even after school, you don't really draw up many plays. The plays get open. So sure, I'm going to run to the car and turn around here and hit me. But if you're not open, you just run around somewhere else. All of a sudden, you're making your own routes as you go. That's what Aaron Rodgers wanted to play. He wanted to have a schoolyard offense where he just rolls out, points to his wide receiver, hey, go deep, hey, go right, go left. And he's just going to drop dimes all day. That's what he wanted to do. He tried to do it last year. He tried to do it with Mike McCarthy. And guess what? Those plays did not work. They work sometimes. He'd have some great highlight throws, don't get me wrong. But that offense was not sustainable. Now he's buying into the system. Now he's running the offense as it should run. And that run-first offense, right, that Matt LaFleur talked about coming into this season, he put it out there saying, we want to run the ball more. They draft A.J. Dillon in the second round of running back. They wanted to establish a line of scrimmage. They wanted to run the ball more. And in doing so, that has opened up the passing game tremendously. Tremendously. Because now you see, once Aaron Rodgers is rolling out, options are open. He's putting the ball deep. And because the defenses are so concerned about stopping the run, it's opening up the deep passing game, which is what Aaron Rodgers wants. So sure, I killed him. I absolutely killed him. When they did not get a wide receiver, they did not upgrade the offense, and it felt like essentially they were punting. And all the good momentum they had in 2019, they were essentially kicking an MVP Hall of Fame quarterback to the curb. And I believed, and you can tell already, he still has a lot of arm talent left. It's not a Tom Brady, Drew Brees situation where they're older, they're aging. Sure, there's questions about their physical abilities. Aaron Rodgers is still playing really well. And now the fact that they didn't do anything to help him, I thought was a big mistake. But really, it didn't take another wide receiver to make this offense great. It didn't take adding another skill position player in order to make Aaron Rodgers and really unlock Aaron Rodgers to bring him back to his old self. He's in his MVP self because he's buying into the offense. And now that allows lesser guys like Allen Lazard. No Devonta Adams last night, the number one wide receiver. All we hear about with the Saints and Drew Brees for his struggles the last two games was, hey, no Michael Thomas. What are you going to do? One of the best wide receivers in the NFL is out. All right, you can only do so much. Well, no, we're not talking about that with Aaron Rodgers. No, Devonta Adams last night, no problem. Allen Lazard, 146 yards and a touchdown. He stepped up. Throwing the ball deep. He's trusting his receivers, despite the fact that his best receiver, one of the best in the league, is not even playing. The offense didn't change. The playbook didn't change. And Aaron Rodgers was still taking shot after shot after shot, trusting those guys to make plays. So the offense looks in sync for the first time since Matt LaFleur took over. That has led to the turnaround. It's not Aaron Rodgers getting better. It's not Aaron Rodgers playing with a chip on his shoulder, if you will, because he's upset about the Jordan Love pick. It's him trusting the offense. It's him buying into what Matt LaFleur is selling. He tuned out Mike McCarthy the last 2 or 3 years. It was Aaron Rodgers' offense. And when he got Mike McCarthy fired, it felt like he was not ready to listen to another head coach. And that was what last year was. They won games. The offense was not in sync. Now the offense looks in sync. It is being run as it should be. So I'm not sure if it was a philosophical change by Aaron Rodgers. He was enlightened. Maybe during the pandemic he realized, hey, maybe running the ball will open up more passing lanes for me. Whatever it was, maybe Matt LaFleur finally proved to him, hey, you could trust me in 1 or 2 years we're going to get the best out of you. But Aaron Rodgers is buying into this offense, and that, to me, is the key for the Packers' turnaround. It wasn't any pieces they added. It wasn't all of a sudden philosophical change in the offense, because this is what the offense was supposed to be last year. Aaron Rodgers is buying in, having fun, and trusting the offense. And with that, that's why the offense is the highest scoring offense in the league right now. That's why Aaron Rodgers is dropping dimes and looking like an MVP candidate, because he is buying in. So I'm curious your thoughts. Watching 3 games. They're 3-0. The offense is looking incredible. Are you buying into the Packers? Is this sustainable? Is this offense sustainable? I really want to know. I say yes. Because you show, if you can still put up 37 points against a competent Saints defense, I know they've gotten shredded, but at least their front 7 is very good. You still were able to score 37 points on the road with no Devontae Adams. A lot of critics, including myself especially, crush the Packers for their draft. They are proving right now they don't need another wide receiver. They weren't one wide receiver away from being a really good offense last year. They were one quarterback buying in away from being a really explosive, really good offense, and that quarterback is finally buying in. So to me, Aaron Rodgers is the key that unlocks this offense. His trust in Matt LaFleur, his trust in his skill position players are the reason why the Packers are scoring points left and right. So you buying the Packers as Super Bowl contenders. Worldwide Sports Network on Facebook, WWSRN_radio, or at Ryan Hickey Show. And are they the team to beat in the NFC? You look around the landscape of the NFC so far, they have depth, right? The AFC is a 2-horse race. It's the Ravens and the Chiefs. They're playing tonight. Can't wait. We'll discuss that game later before we get out of here. But the NFC is wide open. It was deep, right? We talked about the 49ers, the Seahawks, the Saints, the Buccaneers, the Cowboys, depending on if you want to buy in. I thought the Vikings could have been maybe in that conversation because they were a better team than they were last year. There's going to be a gauntlet to try to get to the NFC title game in the Super Bowl from the NFC. But so far, every team has shown their warts, right? We've seen Seattle's lack of a pass rush, their pass secondary get torched. The Saints obviously have some issues defensively, but their offense is also not truly in sync. The Cowboys' defense stinks. The 49ers just can't get anyone healthy on the field. The NFC is wide open. Are the Packers the team to beat in the NFC?